Okay, ma? So, a solid conducting sphere of radius 10 centimeter. So, this is a smaller conducting sphere whose radius is 10 centimeter. Okay, ma? It is enclosed by a thin metallic shell of radius 20 centimeter. So, there is one more shell whose radius is equal to 20 centimeter. Okay, ma? So, a charge Q 20 microcoulomb is given to inner sphere. So, what is the charge present on inner sphere? 20 microcoulombs of charge. Okay. So, find the heat generated in the process. The inner sphere is connected to shell by a conducting wire. Okay. So, first of all, why heat will be generated? Why heat will be generated, ma? Come on, try to say why heat will be generated. Heat will be generated when charges flow. When charges flow from one place to another place, in that process heat will be generated. Why charges are flowing here, can you say? Why charges are flowing? Charges are flowing because we are connecting both these bodies with a conducting wire. We are connecting this one by a conducting wire like this. Clear? So if we connect them to a conducting wire, then what will happen? Then both the bodies, they must be present at the same potential. So all the charges which are present on this one, they will go to the outer surface. So that is the property of charges, Rama. Charges, they will be repelling with each other. So on the inner sphere, previously this was the arrangement of charges. Charges were present on the outer surface. Clear? Now immediately if you connect by conducting wire, so because of mutual repulsion, all these charges, they go and they get deposited on the outside surface of the outer shell. Clear? So all the charges which are present, they will be vanished. They will get vanished. Clear? Now when all the charges, when they have transferred to the outer surface, now potential of these two bodies, is it equal or not? So after connecting them by a conducting wire, all the charges, they have transferred to the outer surface. Clear, Nama? Now can you say potentials are equal or not? Potentials of these two, which two bodies? This inner shell and outer shell. Potential of these two bodies, is it equal or not? Come on. Potentials are definitely equal. Now what is the reason? Because inside this body, inside this bigger shell, electric field is always zero, no? If electric field is zero, potential is a constant. So wherever you take inside this shell, potential will be same everywhere. That's what we have studied, Nama. So what is the potential of the outer surface? Same will be the potential of the inner shell also. Clear? Already we have studied, no? Inside a sphere, electric field will become zero. And E value is equals to dV divided by dr. So if E is 0, dV by dr is also 0. So therefore V is a constant. Already we have studied many times. Clear? So what is the potential existing on the surface? Same potential will be existing throughout the volume of this inner bigger shell also. Clear? So here if potential is V1, here if potential is V2, here if potential is V3, then V1 is equals to V2 is equal to V3. Already we have studied this one, Nama. So therefore potentials of both of them will be equal because we are connecting by a conducting wire. But this is not what I am supposed to calculate. Now what I am supposed to calculate? Heat generated. So how can I calculate heat generated, ma? Very simple. So first of all you calculate initial potential energy. Clear? Then you calculate final potential energy. Clear? So therefore heat generated will be how much? Heat generated will be U initial minus U final. That's all. No? Clear, ma? Now can you say, how can you calculate U initial? U initial means what? Before connecting these two bodies by a conducting wire, that is called as initial potential energy. So before connection, which body was having potential energy, ma? Outer shell or inner shell? Before connecting them by a conducting wire, which one was having potential energy? Charges were present on smaller sphere, no? Charges were present on smaller sphere, only smaller sphere was having potential energy. So what is the formula for potential energy of a conducting sphere? Already we have calculated. Do you remember the equation? Potential energy for a conducting shell or a sphere. What is the formula? Formula is U is equals to Q square divided by 8 pi E naught into R. This is the relation. So already we have derived, Nama, by using calculus. So potential energy of a charged conducting sphere is how much? Q square divided by 8 pi E naught into R. Already we have derived this relation. Clear now? So initial potential energy is only because of this smaller one. Because before connecting this conducting wire, all the charges were present on smaller shell. So therefore, how can I write? What is the total amount of charge, ma? Total amount of charge is 20 microcoulombs. So 20 into 10 power minus 6 whole square. So Q square divided by 8 pi E naught into R. Now what is the radius of this smaller one? 10 centimeter. So therefore 10 into 10 power minus 2 meters. So this is the initial potential energy. Now final potential energy means what? Finally all the charges they have transferred to the outer shell. So therefore final potential energy, how can I write? Again the total amount of charge, it is always a constant, no? So therefore I can write 20 into 10 power minus 6 whole square divided by 8 pi E naught into radius. Now what is the radius of this bigger sphere? 20 centimeter. So therefore 20 into 10 power minus 2. Clear now? So just substitute all these values, then that is our equation. Clear? So heat generated is U initial minus U final. Calculate this one and see what is the answer you will get. So total heat generated is equal to, so Sima, 8 pi E naught can be written as 2 into 4 pi E naught, no? 8 pi E naught can be written as 2 into 4 pi E naught. 1 by 4 pi E naught is how much? 1 by 4 pi E naught is 9 into 10 power 9. So substitute that value. So therefore 20 into 10 power minus 6 whole square divided by or multiplied by 9 into 10 power 9 divided by 2 into 10 into 10 power minus 2. So minus of, so again 20 into 10 power minus 6 whole square multiplied by 9 into 10 power 9. Clear number? So divided by 2 into 20 into 10 power minus 2. So all the values you can take common and just calculate the total amount of heat energy. I am writing the answer directly, which is equal to 9 joules of energy. Clear? So this much amount of energy is being wasted as heat energy when you are connecting both of them by a conducting wire. That is our answer. Two conducting spheres of radii 6 centimeter and 12 centimeter each are having same charge of 3 into 10 power minus 8 coulombs. So they are kept very far away from each other. So if they are connected by a conducting wire, okay, then first of all we are supposed to find out direction and amount of charge transferred and final potential on each sphere. Okay, so this is one sphere, this is another sphere. So radius of this one is 6 centimeter, radius of this one is 12 centimeter, and it is having a charge of Q is equal to 3 into 10 power minus 8 coulomb, and this is also having same charge of Q is equal to 3 into 10 power minus 8 coulomb. Clear ma? So they are respectively very far from each other. Why they are kept at very far? Because potential of one sphere should not act on potential of another sphere. Clear ma? And they are connected by a conducting wire like this. Then first question is direction of charge transfer. Can you say charge will transfer from which sphere to which sphere, ma? So if I am connecting these conductors like this, charge will be transferred from which sphere to which sphere? Come on. Can you say? Charge transfer. I am not able to hear properly, ma. So charge always transfers from higher potential body to lower potential body. That's all. No? So which one is at a higher potential? So first of all, how can I calculate potential? Potential is equals to KQ divided by R. This is the equation for potential of a charged sphere, no? KQ divided by R. So charge present on both the spheres is the same. So therefore I can write potential is inversely proportional to radius. So whichever body has a lesser radius, that has greater potential. Clear number? So radius of this first sphere is lesser when compared to radius of second sphere. So this is having a radius of only 6 centimeter. This is having 12 centimeter. So therefore I can say if potential of this one is V1, if potential of this one is V2, definitely I can say V1 is greater than V2. Clear ma? V1 should be greater than V2 because radius of this one is smaller and charge present on both spheres is same. Clear? So therefore V1 is equal to V2. So therefore what happens? Charge transfers from smaller sphere to bigger sphere. Smaller sphere to bigger sphere. Okay, ma? And this charge transfer will take place up to what time? This charge transfer will take up to which condition? Up to a condition when both of them they reach the same common potential of V, equal potential. That's all, number. So until these two charges, these two spheres, they obtain same potential. Up to that point, charges will be transferring. Okay. So this is our answer for this question, direction. Now, how can I calculate amount of a charge transferred? This one, how can I calculate? Can you say, anybody? Can you say, ma? Amount of a charge transferred. Amount of charge transferred. How can I calculate? Clear? See, ma, in the last condition, when two conductors are connected by a conducting wire, already we have written relations of what are the charges present on each sphere, no? Do you remember those equations? So final charges which are present on each sphere. For example, Q1 dash. What is the formula for Q1 dash? Formula for Q1 dash is total charge multiplied by R1 divided by R1 plus R2. Do you remember this relation? Clear, ma? Q1 dash is equals to Q into R1 divided by R1 plus R2. Just use this relation. So what is Q1 dash? Final charge present on first sphere. Final charge present on first sphere. Can you say what is the total charge? What is the total charge? Total charge, can I say it is 3 into 10 power minus 8? Total charge, is it 3 into 10 power minus 8? See, refer the previous concept which we have studied. What is meant by total charge here? Total charge is the addition of charge which is present on both spheres. Clear, no, ma? So on this one we have a charge of 3 into 10 power minus 8. Here also we have a charge of 3 into 10 power minus 8. So total charge is how much? 3 plus 3, 6 into 10 power minus 8 is the total charge. Clear, no, ma? So total charge is 6 into 10 power minus 8 multiplied by R1. R1 is how much? 6. R1 plus R2 is 6 plus 12. So multiplied by 6 divided by 6 plus 12. So you need not convert centimeters into meters here because that conversion factors will get cancelled. Clear, ma? So therefore, see what is the answer you will get. Q1 dash is equals to 6 into 10 power minus 8 into 6 divided by 12, 18. So 6 1s are 6 3s are. So Q1 dash is equals to 2 into 10 power minus 8 coulombs. Clear, ma? So this is the final charge which is present on first sphere. So what is the initial charge? Initial charge is 3. Final charge is 2. Therefore, charge transferred is how much? Charge transferred. Charge transferred is how much, ma? Charge transferred is equals to initial charge minus final charge. So 3 into 10 power minus 8 minus 2 into 10 power minus 8. So it is 1 into 10 power minus 8 coulombs. Clear, ma? So this much amount of charge is transferred from one sphere to another sphere. So therefore, what are the final charges? This one has a final charge of 2 into 10 power minus 8 coulomb. 1 into 10 power minus 8 transferred, no, ma? So here Q final on this sphere will be 3 plus 1. 4 into 10 power minus 8 coulombs of charge will be present on second sphere after the charges are transferred. Clear? So that is our answer for second one, amount of charge transferred. Now there is one more question now, second question. What is the final potential on each sphere? This one how can I calculate? This one how can I calculate? Come on. Final potential on each sphere. Okay, ma? First of all I will take first sphere. Okay, so what is the formula for potential? Formula for potential is V final. V is equals to KQ divided by R. This is the formula, no? Final potential of a sphere is KQ divided by R. Or you can use this relation also. V is equals to Q divided by C. This also you can use. Both of them you will get same result. Okay, ma? So K value is how much? K is 1 by 4 pi E naught, which I can write it as 9 into 10 power 9. And charge. Final charge is how much, ma? Final charge is only 2 into 10 power minus 8. So 2 into 10 power minus 8 divided by what is the radius of this sphere? Radius of this sphere is 6 centimeter. So therefore 6 into 10 power minus 2. Okay, ma? So do this calculation. That is the final sphere or final potential of first sphere. Similarly, you calculate for second sphere. Okay, ma? For second sphere potential is V final is equals to again KQ divided by R. So K value is 1 by 4 pi E naught, which is 9 into 10 power 9. Clear, number? And charge, final charge present is how much? Final charge is 4 into 10 power minus 8. 4 into 10 power minus 8 divided by, what is the radius of this one? 12. So 12 into 10 power minus 2 meters. Clear? So calculate this one. That will be the final potential of second sphere. Okay. So the values which you should get is 3 kilovolts and 3 kilovolts. Those are the answers. Clear, ma? So 3 kilovolts, this is also 3 kilovolts. Clear, ma? So both of them, they are present at same potential. That is what will happen now. If you are connecting two conductors at different potential by a conducting wire, charges will transfer until which position? Until both of them they obtain same potential. So they got same potential only, no? That is our answer. Okay, ma? That's all. See, I will explain this one. So there is one isolated conductor. So this is consider this is one isolated conductor. Clear, ma? So initially it does not have any charge. It is free from charge. So it is charged with repeated contacts with a metallic plate. Clear? So which is the metallic plate? So let us consider this is the metallic plate. So this is the conductor. Clear, ma? And this is the metallic plate. For example, these are the shapes which you are taking. Clear, ma? This is the metallic plate. So which after each contact has a charge Q due to some mechanism. So it means this plate, this is always maintained at a charge of Q. Clear, ma? So when I take this metallic plate and touch with this uncharged conductor, can you say what will happen immediately, ma? So initially this conductor is uncharged. This is not having any kind of charge. Clear, ma? But this metallic plate, it is maintained at a, always a charge of Q is present on this metallic plate. So if I touch them, then can you say immediately what will happen? If I get them into contact, immediately what is going to happen, ma? Charge, because this is a conductor, charges will transfer, no? Because of the property called conduction. When two conductors are joined with each other, then charges will redistribute such that potentials of these conductors will become equal. Clear, no, ma? Charges will transfer up to which position? Charges will transfer until potentials of these two conductors will become equal. Clear, no, ma? It means one body is losing charge, one body is gaining charge, no? So which body is losing charge, which body will gain charge here, can you say? Which body loses charge here? Metallic plate. This is having a charge of Q, no, ma? And this is having zero charge. Ah, yes. So this is at a zero potential, but this is at a particular potential. So this metallic plate will lose some charge and this conductor will gain some charge. Are you able to understand, ma? So what he is saying, so Q is the charge on the conductor after first operation. What is meant by first operation? When I initially touch them and separate, then this conductor is obtaining how much charge? It is obtaining a charge of charge Q. Clear, no, ma? So therefore what I write here, we will write these points. So if these conductors are touched, then what will happen? Then charge transfers, then transfer of charge takes place from plate to conductor. Okay, ma? Why charge transfer take place? Because this was initially uncharged. This was a charged plate. When you touch both of them, potential should become equal, no? So that point also we will write. So when touched, charges redistribute such that potentials will become equal. Potentials are equal. Are you able to understand, ma? So after first contact, what is happening? This one is gaining Q amount of charge. It means this will lose Q amount of charge. But potentials are equal, no? So therefore we will write V1 is equals to V2. What is the equation for potential for any body? V is equals to Q by C. So therefore potential of conductor is so much, ma? Q divided by C1 is equals to, now what is the potential of this metallic plate? It is losing Q amount of charge, no? So Q minus Q divided by C2. So can I write equation like this? Can I write equation like this, ma? So Q by C1 is equals to Q minus Q divided by C2. Satisfied up to here? So this is the potential which is present on conductor. This is the potential which is present on this metallic plate. Both of them, they must be equal. Clear? So therefore, if I calculate C1 and C2, they are unknown quantities. So what I will do, I will try to calculate C1 and C2 values. So therefore, C1 divided by C2 is equals to Q divided by Q minus Q. So Q divided by Q minus Q. So let it be my equation number 1. Are you able to understand, ma? So this is what is happening. Now, after second contact, now after second contact, what will happen, ma? Can you see? After first contact, some of the charge has transferred from this metallic plate to conductor. Now on this conductor, already a Q amount of charge is present, no? On this conductor, already a Q amount of charge is present. And it is saying that metallic plate, after losing some charge, again it is given the same charge of Q. Are you able to understand, ma? That's what he said here. So after each contact has again a charge of Q due to some mechanism. That is what he is saying. So this metallic plate is always maintained at a charge of Q only. So initially it is losing some charge. Then again it is charged to a charge of Q only. All of you are able to understand, ma, what is happening here? So therefore, after second contact, now can you say what will happen? Anybody? After second contact, what will happen? Can you say, ma? So at each contact, what will happen? Potentials will again become equal. So two potentials become equal. Again, what will happen? Again, some charge will be transferred from metallic plate to conductor. So therefore, how can I write? So after second contact, let Q2 amount of charge be transferred from plate to conductor. I don't know what is Q2. I am assuming that after second contact, what is happening? So Q2 amount of charge is transferred from metallic plate to conductor. And again, potential should be equal, no? So again, I will write V1 dash is equals to V2 dash. Initial potentials were V1, V2. Final potentials are V1 dash and V2 dash. Clear, no, ma? So how can I write now potential for that conductor? So already Q amount of charge is present, no, ma? Already Q amount of charge is present, and additionally it is getting Q2 amount of charge. So what is the total potential now? So total potential is Q by C. So Q plus Q2 divided by C1 is equal to, now what is the charge present on metallic plate? Initially it has a charge of Q. Now it is losing how much charge? It is losing Q2 amount of charge. So therefore, capital Q minus Q2 divided by C2. Are you able to understand, ma? So from this one, what is the unknown quantity? From this one I can write, again I can write a C1 divided by C2. C1 divided by C2 is equals to Q plus Q2 divided by Q minus Q2. Clear, ma? So this is my equation number 1 and this is my equation number 2. Are you able to understand? So if I equate equation 1 and equation 2, can't I calculate Q2, ma? So here also I have C1, C2. Here also I have C1, C2. If I equate these two, this relation and this relation, then I can calculate Q2, no? What is Q2? Q2 is an unknown charge which is transferred from metallic plate to conductor after second contact. Clear? So finally what we are supposed to calculate here? Okay, after second contact, first of all calculate Q2, then we will see. Okay, ma? 1 is equal to 2. So therefore Q divided by Q minus Q is equal to, so therefore I got Q plus Q2 divided by Q minus Q2. Clear, no, ma? So from this, first of all, you calculate a Q2 value. Okay, so directly I am writing the answer here. So what is the value of Q2 you should get? You should get Q square divided by Q. Are you able to understand, ma? So therefore, after first contact, charge transferred is how much? After first contact, charge transferred is Q. Clear, ma? Similarly, after second contact, charge transferred is how much? Charge transferred is how much, ma? Q square divided by Q. Clear? So therefore, after third contact, what will happen? That we are writing directly. Okay. So after third contact, so see the pattern which it is following. So previously Q, in second contact Q square divided by Q. So after third contact it should be equal to Q square divided by capital Q cube divided by capital Q square. Clear ma? Then after fourth contact it should be Q power 4 divided by Q cube. Clear ma? So like this continuously charge transferred will be varying. So therefore after infinite number of contacts, clear? After infinite contacts, what is the total charge transferred? Charge transferred Q, or shall I call it as Q or any Q dash? Okay. So after infinite contacts, charge transferred, if I am calling this as Q dash, then what is the total charge transferred ma? After first contact, Q amount of charge. After second contact, Q square divided by Q. After third contact, Q cube divided by Q square. After fourth contact, Q power 4 divided by Q cube, and it goes on like this. Clear ma? So this will be the total amount of charge which will be transferred after infinite amount of what you called contacts. Clear? Now how can you add them? That is